Hey guys, it's Generalkidd here. How's everyone doing? Today, actually, you guys have been requesting this a lot the past couple of days, and I was gonna get to it eventually, but I intended to wait a little longer, but you guys keep requesting it, so without further ado, here it is. I'm gonna show you guys the Arbiter getting infected by the Flood and turning into a Flood combat form. So, pretty much the same setup here as the elites in our video about the half-infected elites. I'm just gonna spawn a bunch of carrier forms and a bunch of arbiter bipeds here, and just gonna pop them all and hope that the swarm of infection forms, at least one of them, will infect the arbiter. So, much like with the half-infected elite, the challenge with getting the arbiter infected is that when an elite is in the process of being infected, I don't know, he'll like do something to his shields where he'll release like a huge like energy burst from his shield that like kills him and like a lot of allies and flood and enemies around him. It's like a last like a last ditch effort to take out the enemy or the flood, kind of like a self destruct sort of. But yeah, so let's try again here. Usually, I used to think like the more the merrier as far as arbiters go, but I think like the less we have, the more likely they are to get infected and not kill everybody else with the bursts. But yeah, so this arbiter here is going to be the one that gets infected. So let's play that in slow motion now and watch as he gets infected. So one of them released a burst, but fortunately this one survived, and he is now getting infected. So just play that in slow motion. And as you can see, Arbiter getting infected is a lot different than a regular elite. He does not have any I don't know how to put it, like maybe like the he doesn't have any mid transformation effects. Like with the other elites, you'll see like they start growing, the flood infection, flood biomass, whatever you want to call it, all over their body as they're in the middle of getting infected. But with Arbiter, he kind of just like drops to the ground and then just suddenly transforms into a flood. Now he did transform to silver flood here, but that's because I originally did like a model swap with the standard elite and the arbiter. Because at the time I didn't realize that the arbiter's biped actually had entry points for the flood infection forms. A biped has to have these entry points in order to get infected by the flood, otherwise nothing will happen. So here is the actual arbiter biped, also called the dervish biped, because that's what the arbiter is called in the game files. But anyways, when you use the actual arbiter biped, well, first of all, it normally doesn't get infected, but if you add the correct flood infection stuff to his biped, like the transformation stuff, he'll turn into a regular blue flood and nothing else. You could probably change the colors if you want, if you mod it, but this is just like what's default. This is what Arbiter actually turns into. I'm not sure why he turned into a silver flood in the other case, but in in the his actual biped, he will turn into a blue flood. Now, I know a lot of you are going to be asking this in comments after the video, or if you haven't asked already, but yes, I have tried to do the half-infected flood glitch on the Arbiter, and I spent like a couple hours trying to do it, and I think I've come to the conclusion that it is not possible to have a half-infected Arbiter. He I'm not sure because like I said, he doesn't have any like mid transformation effects on him. So with the half infected glitch, one of two things happened when I tried. He either just like stood in a frozen pose. He had like no animations anymore. He just stood still. Kind of like what happens on MCC if you try the half infected glitch. Or even though I'm like 100% positive that I got him to, be half infected when I do the glitch. When I come back to this point, he won't be there anymore. He just disappears. So I think that's all that happens with the Arbiter, because he doesn't have any. He doesn't grow like the flood infection on him. He just plain old Arbiter, and he just suddenly transforms into flood when he gets infected, as you've seen a couple times now. Anyways, that's it for the Arbiter. For the rest of the video, I'm going to show you the other elite, the fourth elite that you can get on when you play on co-op. This red elite here, this is the elite that you play as when you do a 4-player co-op. The fourth player will be this elite. I would show the third elite, but that's just a regular blue elite, and there's nothing special about him. No offense, he is my favorite elite to play as on co-op, but as far as flood infections go, he's just a standard blue elite. So that's why I'm going to show you just the red elite here, because he's, I guess he's like a unique character in the game, appearance-wise. I don't think you see red Spec Ops elites anywhere else in the game. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure this is the only one. But anyway, so this is what he looks like getting infected. Once again, it was a little tricky to get him infected because of the energy bursts, but he actually does, he is closer to a standard elite than the Arbiter is, because he does have the halfway infection stuff. Which means that it would be possible to do the half-infected flood glitch on him, but I didn't feel like it. You can just use your imagination. He would just mostly look like a standard elite, but with a little bit of flood stuff on him. That's all. But after like spending like a couple hours on the Arbiter trying to half infect him, I didn't really feel like doing it on this elite. And I considered making this elite a separate video, but he's not that important in the game. He's not that famous, so I figured I'd just toss him in as a bonus to this video for those of you who have stuck around to this point. I just want to show you guys really quickly what he looks like as he gets infected. The red floods, I'm pretty sure they're actually pretty rare to see in normal gameplay, even if you turn the thunderstorms go on. Most floods you see are just the regular blue floods, but you do see the red floods sometimes, but most of the time it's just the blue floods. And as far as I know, you never see the silver floods in normal gameplay. There is like one level where you could create a few silver floods, but normally they don't actually spawn. Normally you have to like create them. It's not a glitch, it's just you have to push these silver elite bodies and get them infected. But other than that, they don't actually spawn as part of the normal gameplay. But yeah, so once again, I hope you guys did find this to be interesting and pretty cool. If you did enjoy seeing Arbiter getting infected by the flood, make sure to leave a like and leave your thoughts in the comments. Just let me know what you want me to see next. Just anything else you want me to try out, just let me know, and I'll do my best to get to it. But other than that, make sure to subscribe and stay tuned by clicking that little notification icon button next to the subscribe button. And other than that, I will see you guys next time.